And now for our feature presentation.
This is great because on the back it actually says this film is also known as
the I'll Watch It Later podcast.
You ever heard of that film?
And now, on with the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to I'll Watch It Later podcast where we lie about things. I just woke up. I just woke up and it's like, bleh, we're just liars.
Where we just mess up intros and
all right, let's try
statics. And
you can leave that.
Two.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to I'll Watch It Later podcast, the podcast where we lie about the movies to impress our friends. As always,
Thought I was going to have to do a double take.
Aaron, joined by my Grumposaurus Rex friend, Jordan.
There it is.
Don't text me.
Yeah, I know. And
happy face emoji.
Baby face weirdo Scott.
Yep.
It is weird when he shaves, but it takes
It's
me
fucking
like
weird
2 or 3 days to get over it.
I didn't expect it because I walked in.
He looks like a giant potato.
This is how
man.
much I don't like. This is my night blindness when it comes to just everything. I didn't notice till we sat down in this room and we're sitting here. I walked in. He was walking around
like a cartoon.
Well, and the thing is, like, I walked into the house. I looked right at you. You were putting Harrison down. You walked back in the room. I come in here and I start doing shit, and then I'm looking at. I'm like, oh, that's fucking weird. I just automatically assumed everything was fucking status quo the second I walked in, and nope.
It's been almost 10 years, man.
Since you shaved?
Yeah.
No. I've
been a
seen you
long
shaved
time.
before.
Well,
it's not been almost
like
10 years.
without any facial hair.
Isn't it weird?
No, bro.
It's hotter.
I've seen you shave.
Because
It's so much hotter.
The sun is now hitting you directly. Skin on sun, and you're not. Yeah,
Even sitting in a cool room,
I'm the
I'm
same way.
hotter.
He looks more racist.
It's true. It's so true.
So, anyways, yeah,
Which
it's
is
weird. Scott
hard
shaved.
to do.
So, on the Instagram, you should post a picture of him with a beard or without a beard.
Yeah,
Like
we'll
people-
do a show like a pop quiz, like a one of those like things where everyone votes to see which Scott was the better Scott.
Oh, I can tell you which one will win.
This one?
Alt-right Scott or alt-right Scott?
My wife was like, "You were so good looking." I'm like, or she's like, "You were so handsome." I go, "Were?"
It's funny.
She's like, "You know what I mean?"
Yeah, look like
And I'm like, "I know."
you sit outside of people's schools.
That's the reason. The reason I kept the beard for so
See,
long.
I grow mine out only because there's 4 other chins under here, and it's
cover
just,
it.
if it's a blanket of the hair, you don't
You
notice.
should
it.
shave too.
No, God,
I want
no.
to see.
Why?
I have to shave for work, so
Head, beard, eyebrows, forearms,
shoulders, knees, and toes.
Right.
legs.
I'll look like Mia Goth.
So,
Well,
yeah,
I'm into her.
exactly.
No eyebrows.
That's how I feel.
I'm
That's how I
attracted
feel
to
right
her,
now.
so
Yeah,
that
thank
would be
you.
good for
Uh-oh.
you.
Better scooch my chair over.
You don't look like me.
He's gonna end
Bob.
up with his hand on my knee.
I'd scooch you over, but there's a DC book in the way.
Of course there is. Oh, big one. The Villains on Omnibus.
That's a big book.
It's 2%.
That's 2% of the villains. If you joined us last week for the snack show, we appreciate you. We know that there was a little audio thing going on with Aaron's mic.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
It is what it is.
We fixed it by never having him on the show again.
Actually, he did really good, and I liked him. So maybe we will have him on again.
You're like, he sat there, he
And-
kept quiet,
Yeah.
he didn't say
He
a word.
agreed with all the
Fucking
things that I said.
Knew his place.
Knew
Aaron
exactly
kept
where
holding
he
up
needed
what
to be.
his score should be. He's like, I'm going to give it a 2.5. And then Aaron gave it what Aaron wanted. He's
No.
like,
Okay, yeah.
And the other fun part about that was he argued with me about the hot dog, and there's no hot dog in the fucking pepper, and that made me very, very, very happy. So, yeah.
I'm glad you were right about one thing.
One thing in my whole life, I know. It's the small victories, It's the no hot dog.
Because if he wasn't, he'd still be arguing about
Yeah,
it.
he would still be like, well, I could have swore that video. And then, yeah.
I would have canceled the show by now.
Yeah, sure.
So, anyways,
It's true.
this is kind of a short turnaround. We're doing this on a Thursday night, whereas we usually record on a Saturday. So I'm just going to get right into this. Scott, have you watched anything?
Nothing.
Okay, that's what I figured. How about you?
Nothing.
I
Other than the movies we watched last week.
Right.
I watched the rest of Secret Invasion.
I'm sorry.
What a shit show that show is.
I
I liked the first 4 episodes to a point. Like it's like it started off okay, and then it kind of went down, and then the last 2 episodes were just pointless, and I hate every second of it. And they introduced things that you shouldn't have done in 6 episodes. It changes the entire landscape
Right.
of the MCU in a way that doesn't make sense narratively. It's like, as much as you hated She-Hulk, at the end of She-Hulk, the episode was like, we got to
Fourth
stop the
wall
episode,
break,
fourth
yeah.
wall. We're not going to end this way.
Kevin Feige, supercomputer.
Well, it's not even that. It was so the end of She-Hulk was the Hulk finally showed up. She was She-Hulk, and then all of a sudden Abomination turned into Abomination, and then the other one of the bad guys randomly turned into a version of something. And she's like, "No, you can't just get everybody together with their superpowers and just do some stupid fight at the end of the show. That's dumb." And that's when she fourth wall breaks and haha, whatever. This show did that, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, Super
just-
Scroll, right?
How many? There was,
so-
everyone had powers.
So here's the thing. I texted is not the right word, but I messaged you guys like, I don't know, 1 a.m. one morning, and I just said Secret Invasion is stupid as fuck. And then I never followed up because everybody was sleeping.
Yeah.
So I had it on at work, like in the background.
Yeah.
And I was kind of paying attention, and I was noticing that every show was really, really bad. And
it just progressively got worse.
And then when it was like, oh, this guy's stronger than Thanos, and he has all the DNA of the fucking Avengers, and I was just like, oh my God, they're just like fucking destroying the 10 years of the fucking MCU.
Just
And
full
the
plot
whole
holes. Just plot holes. Like,
Rhodey's like always been a Skrull or something, and then
well,
Maria Hill apparently knew the writing on the wall was like, just kill me the first episode.
kill me at the end of hour 1,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be a part of the rest of the MCU. I'm done. I'm retiring.
Yeah, so
I don't know. I did think it was funny that after we watched Barbie and Oppenheimer, you were like, thank God we're not going to get any more superhero movies. And I'm like, you sure about that? And then we get the drop for Marvels, and I'm like, ugh.
what? What are you talking
Well,
about?
they dropped a new trailer.
The trailer for it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because when we recorded, it
I'm
was
like, just what we wanted.
when
More Brie Larson.
When we were recording last week for the snack show, it was Saturday of San Diego Comic-Con. Who would
Yes,
know?
right.
Nothing came out of that. But they were
Really?
oh, dude, it was nothing. No new news. No
I
one
didn't
was
hear
there.
nothing
because of the strike,
you
you
do every
think?
year. Yeah.
Oh.
Like
they
usually
couldn't
you
have
get
people
all
there.
kinds of stuff going on.
You're right. Well, the strike.
Yeah.
Well,
That
even
makes sense.
pre-strike.
But you would think that even though the stuff they've already got in the bag,
No.
they would at least kind of maybe put it out there.
Can't. Who's going to do it?
I don't know.
Are you going to have the executive of random, like... No, the
think that's
executives are just as much in trouble with everybody as...
Sheila, we need you to put the trailer up.
Right?
No,
Just
I
push
think-
play.
I think that's crossing the picket line or something like that. I don't
Scabs.
know the actual.
Well, I mean, the studio can put out all the stuff. That's why you get the trailers online and things like that. But you can't have anybody promote it, which is going to hurt Blue Beetle. I don't know. That looks like shit anyway.
I was never excited about Blue Beetle.
They're projecting that it's going to be one of the worst DC
Yeah.
movies only because they can't promote it, they can't talk about it. No one could do anything about it. It's supposed to make like $25 million to $30 million in its entire domestic run.
well,
I'm
George
like,
Lopez
damn,
is also a cancer
with a
on our
fucking
society.
like mullet. And,
See, I haven't even seen any of this. George Lopez is in it.
Yeah, he calls
plays
Batman
like-
a fascist.
Ugh.
He's just like the uncle of, I don't know,
A Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle. I
Yeah.
don't fucking know. They're making it into be like a family movie. I'm done. No thanks.
I'm done.
I'll watch it. I just don't know if it'll be in the theater because the way schedules are going to change. It'll be probably gone before we could probably make it happen. So
I don't.
we'll catch that on whatever streaming site we're going to pirate it from.
No. I watched the first episode. I'm going to finish it probably tonight since I took a 5-hour nap when I told Kim. This isn't Kim's fault. It's
5-hour
my fault.
nap. That's a night's
Just
worth of sleep.
Yeah. Well, I went in at like 1:45, and my whole plan was to be up at like 2.
Took a little siesta.
Yeah, just so I could get, like,
Little
because
me time.
I was falling asleep on the couch.
Little me time for
So-
5 hours.
So
You know what? I had a long night of doing
Daddy,
whatever.
Daddy, wake up.
No. Here's the iPad. Here's something to chew on. Dad's taking a little bit of a nap.
kind of. I kind of do that with Parker.
Kim's working all day.
Yeah, that's
Kids
exactly.
are on fire.
Wow, are you here?
Was I here?
Yeah. No. So on Thursdays, on Wednesday nights, I work my overtime, so I don't get like mandated on my day off or whatever. So I work till 3 a.m. and then I'm up by like 7. So it is rough, dude. Like, let me tell you, it's rough. So Thursdays are my worst day. So I just try to take like a little nap so I can function throughout the day. Well, I woke up at like 7:30. So like there were messages and phone calls, and I was like, shit. So that's
I have kids. I can't remember the last time I had a nap.
Well,
between the
Kim
ages
was
of
off. Kim was off.
Oh,
so
okay.
she's-
I'm like sitting there
I
going.
mean, I've dozed off before,
Yeah,
like,
there
you
have
know,
been
kind of
moments.
dozed off here and there, but not like a 5-hour doze.
No.
We're gonna put something on TV. I want to just rest these eyes. I'm gonna blink a little longer than normal.
He's
Oh.
like, he's typing
Parker-
he's typing in YouTube. He's like 10 hours straight of
fucking
Miss
right.
Rachel.
Blip, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Find babysitter.
no. Kim gets off at
See you in
1:45.
6, kid.
So I head in at 1:45 and
Right.
take my little nap. But I did, like I said, I planned on being up. At
Oh, you're
3.
done working? Welcome to second shift. I'm taking a nap.
Wait till she hears this because it should be like, that's really
Wow.
how it is.
It's like right on the nail, right on the head, right there, buddy.
No, because we do the same thing. I let her.
You high five between rooms. Good night.
Yeah, I let her nap too. But I did before I took my nap today.
Your daddy lets you do shit.
Watch
Go ahead.
watch the first episode of Twisted Metal.
Is that out? Okay,
Yeah.
shit. I haven't.
I didn't even know that was
I
out
didn't know
yet.
it was out.
It's good.
The trailer looked fun.
It's campy, but it's good.
like Anthony Mackie looked like he was having fun.
He is
and
having
he's
fun.
just quippy and
the
stupid.
soundtrack is all fucking
I,
90s.
I wouldn't
Excited.
expect anything less because the video game was super campy.
Yeah, it's like surprise cameo Nev Campbell. She's like a big part of the
she
show.
was in the trailer, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "What the fuck, Nev
And
Campbell? Can't you do
She's
like
like, I
another
ain't got time for Scream.
Yeah,
Doing
right.
Twisted Metal.
Well, I got all this free times and Scream, won't pay me what I want. I'll be in Twisted Metal.
Yeah. So and then what's his face? Sandman's in it. And I'm just
Yeah, he plays the cop.
Yeah, I'm all in, dude. I never.
Did you not watch the trailer? Okay, because they showed all
no.
that.
Okay,
I've only
no.
seen the stills, like people posting the pictures from
of
it.
Sweet
Shit,
Tooth.
dude, it
Yeah.
looks fucking.
So I do this
it looks
thing-
fun.
I
It
do
really
this-
does.
I do this thing where I don't watch trailers or stuff anymore because
I'm trying
I
to
get-
with a not a lot.
I
of
get
big
too
stuff.
overhyped. Like I'm like, oh my god, like this is gonna be good, and then I get let
Well,
down.
just like talk to me. I only watched the one trailer,
Me
and
too.
I'm not watching anymore.
know
In
anything
fact, I
about
don't
it.
even like the fact that I saw that the score was so high because now, I'm like,
I don't,
this
I don't
better
like
be
the
good.
fact that I Googled it just to see what the hell it was because you guys were like, we're going to see Talk to Me. And I'm like, I don't even know what this is. And I Googled it, and they were like,
It's an
people
Australian horror.
fainting in the theaters. And I'm like,
they
oh,
did that for
Jesus,
fucking
here we
Terrifier.
go.
Get over it.
I'm like, here we go.
that's why you got to.
This is going to be Hereditary Part 2. I'm going to be rolling
Speaking
my
of, did you
eyes.
see my Terrifier picture I posted?
I
in
did.
the
It was
chat?
hilarious.
Yeah, and my brother is a fucking.
I,
idiot.
he said
He's
he
like,
never,
I've never really watched
'Cause
Seinfeld.
I
Go
don't like-
fucking kill yourself. Go.
kill yourself.
This is what we're gonna post online as the advertisement for our show. Aaron, go fucking kill yourself. You haven't watched Tombstone. You don't watch Seinfeld. God forbid anything's popular. You'll never talk about it, see it, or go do it. So until you watch some shit, you're not ever coming back in front of this microphone.
I don't like to be part of the status quo.
He said he didn't like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, which the show is not even about her.
Bro.
Everything else in the show,
Right? It's about
hilarious. It's mostly about George, actually.
I'm gonna show you the picture I did. I forgot I
it's
posted
a
that.
terrifying.
But it's just
picture.
like it just fucking bothered me.
But
God forbid you
He-
ever
he's
watch
not-
anything.
it's not like he's gonna watch Twisted Metal, even though it's good. He'll watch Supernatural again for the 852nd time.
I made that today because I was bored.
Do you remember that episode?
It's
I was
Pagliacci episode where they're trying to get
I'm
tickets
s-
to the opera.
He's like, I'm scared of clouds.
So it's
Joe, what's
It's
his name?
crazy Joe Davola.
Yeah, and he sells him the ticket anyways.
anyway, yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't realize this, but they did something that I'm in favor of. They released all the episodes. It's not like
Oh, they put them all fucking
They're
yeah. How many are there?
I think 9.
Oh, God forbid Marvel ever put 9 out. 6 episodes, $210 million.
Yeah,
It looks like you didn't spend it all on the show.
They're like, no.
that was all that
You
AI
get
opening.
it over 2 months.
Right. I know. So I'm excited to
Okay,
finish watching.
I'm going to
that.
watch it tonight
Yeah, I started watching.
because it's on Peacock.
Yes, you could probably steal it. I don't know.
I have
I
Peacock.
have Peacock, so
Yes, so do I.
I started watching this new animated Batman Superman thing.
Is Batman Superman or is it the new Superman one? Because there's 2 new animated things out.
It's the one where it's like Elseworlds, where like
okay.
Wonder Woman shows up in Jonah Hex's world, and Batman is like
Jonah
a fucking,
Hill's World.
Is it a
Gladiator.
movie, not a series, right?
It's a movie.
Oh,
It's terrible.
okay.
It's fucking terrible.
It's the newest one. I think.
couldn't even get 20 minutes in.
That sucks because they're so. Usually they're very good. Like
Yeah,
I love
know,
the
I
animated
know.
properties.
Me too. And I was just telling people who are usually into that stuff, stay away.
Who's running DC over there, man?
Nobody.
James Gunn.
Well, this is before he got.
But yeah,
old.
this was all before James Gunn.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm tired of him telling me that The Flash is the greatest movie ever.
Oh God. Shut up. I like you, James Gunn. Shut the fuck up.
Tom Cruise too, apparently.
Fuck him too.
He was like in a room and people were...
You know what? I'm glad fucking this last movie you did was bombing in the theater.
It didn't bomb. It just fell harder than they thought it would.
Shorter of expectations.
Yes, shorter than of expectations. But I think a lot of that was the Barbenheimer stuff. And I love that studios are now trying to
Is that the
manufacture...
one?
No. I saw that one. I didn't like that one either.
Oh, fucking damn.
But it's called like... fuck. I can't remember.
Okay, I'll figure it out. Don't look at your phone. You'll take forever.
Thanks.
I'll figure it out.
I'll have to chop like 3 minutes of fucking
It's just me being
Dead air.
quiet.
Yep.
Hold on, I gotta look.
Hey
for this.
guys, hold on. Oh,
You guys
wait.
vamp. I gotta look. I gotta
Nope,
do
that's
research.
not it. That's not it.
stare at each other.
So yeah, and studios are now trying to like fake manufacture the hype, and they can't. Like that was like its own little lightning in a bottle thing. It wasn't.
I think
I
don't know.
I don't like it when
with-
corporations.
I
take
think with the
over.
Barbenheimer thing, man, they went hardcore on marketing because everybody knew about this. In other movies, like I'm gonna even say like with Mission Impossible, you didn't see any marketing for that, hardly at all before it dropped.
All they were doing was showing, hey, did you know he's gonna jump off a cliff on a bike?
Correct.
That's all they've been hyping.
I think with social
Honestly,
media,
with Barbenheimer, this whole thing, the studios had no hand in this.
Right.
This was all guerrilla viral marketing. The studios didn't even put out a ton of Barbie shit or Oppenheimer shit, oddly enough. Like, you didn't see a lot of marketing for
Which
either
I think
one of those.
I've
is
made
what
Oppenheimer
they
my
need to
entire
do.
personality. My entire personality.
no,
Yeah, I
It
ordered
is.
a bunch
No.
of shirts. I changed all my social media stuff to fucking Oppenheimer related things.
Dude.
I went way
Bro,
too
I
hard.
wanna get
into
a
pay.
tattoo.
Oh yeah, I already picked out the
Jeez.
picture.
Yeah.
it's just the mushroom cloud.
I've been listening to
Oppenheimer.
I've been listening to the audiobook like nonstop.
I started reading, yeah.
I found this YouTube channel that's like it makes cartoon, and the guy's kind of like bubbly and light, and it's all like history, and it's all cartoons. It's like cartoons doing things.
I saw a TikTok of back in the 50s, like it's one of those TV shows, This Is Your Life.
Yes.
And they were talking to a survivor of Hiroshima. And you know who they brought out as a special guest? The
Oppenheimer.
guy who fucking flew the plane.
Yeah, dude, I know his
The
name.
Enola Gay.
Yeah,
It wasn't
Tibbets.
Trips. It wasn't Tibbets. It was like the other guy.
I feel like I need to see that now, just for the
Dude.
awkward.
It was
stare
so
down.
awkward. The guy's just like,
I'm gonna get that
you
tattooed
fucking
on me.
bombed my fucking village. Like, what the hell? Why would you do that?
So
It
yeah.
was
So
insane.
apparently their marketing worked on Aaron.
Yeah, but this is what I do.
Well, they started marketing Oppenheimer back in 45. So, I mean,
So why did you go Oppenheimer and not Barbie? Why aren't you getting Barbie tattooed on you?
well, I mean, because
Go deep fan. Get like an
No,
Amy
no.
Schumer Barbie.
Stop it. No, it's I just
With the
I
Schumer
find
Be like, I knew. I read the script before everybody else did.
God, I wish this was like a Back to the Future situation where we had some footage of Eric Stoltz before what's his face got in there. Like, could you
I
imagine if we
know.
had Schumer footage
that would've
in the
been
like the
so
special
It's
features?
like the Chris
before?
Farley Shrek.
Right?
yes,
Oh.
yes.
Like, I would love to have that. Like,
I can make that happen.
Like that exact
I have
scene where they're
Photoshop.
talking about like how
Right.
she feels ugly, and she's like, Helen Mirren's like, yeah, you're Amy Schumer, you should feel ugly.
that voiceover would have been way different.
That line is way different.
Right? It was
in
like
that
yeah,
movie.
Note to filmmakers. Yup.
Yep.
It's like, yep.
Scream
done.
more about your vagina, bitch. Anyways,
Makes
no.
sense why the end happened that way.
The reason I'm going so hard on Oppenheimer is like I think one because I'm 40 and now I have to my entire personality has to be about World War II. But
What?
you never heard that
Makes
before?
sense.
Like people like
No,
when
I
they
know
get-
you get to a certain point, so it's like, yeah, you're like all of a sudden you're into like war reenactments or shit like that.
So-
But why World War
I
II?
mean, you could get some New Balances, take up like
Right.
walking or
Yeah,
something.
no,
or
I don't
shorts
know.
that go
Like
up to
World
your
War
dick.
II is all of a sudden the most fascinating thing in the world to me. Like I had no idea. Like
I had no idea it even happened.
Well, I understand what you're saying because I watched Oppenheimer going, you know what? I really didn't know the ins and outs of how all this happened.
Correct.
So now I have to fucking learn about it. I ordered the book. It's this fucking thick.
Yeah,
this motherfucker's going audiobook on it. So
26 hours.
yeah,
dude.
it's long. So I understand.
What's that guy? My newest hyperfixation.
That's exactly
I mean, I get it because now it sparked me wanting to learn. Like, fucking, why do you learn this shit after high school?
I
Like,
don't
I didn't
know.
get
I
taught
love
any of this stuff.
I love any of that stuff, and
Me
I've
too.
always been intrigued with that. I mean, I just have a buddy that actually just went to Germany, and he was posting up where they were taking a tour of like all like the concentration camps and stuff, and some of the pictures. I was like zooming in on them. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy.
I was already talking to Kim like, what it would cost me to not really cost, but like what
To start your own World War II?
No, what I'd have to do in order to go visit like Hiroshima.
Kim, what do you think it would
Probably not a
have?
lot.
Well, how much
My
do you think it
daughter's
would
been there.
cost?
There's like a museum and
Really?
everything. Yeah.
Oh,
Kim, how much do you think it would cost me to wrangle up a bunch of people?
stop it.
Look,
This
it's
is why you
just
get
some-
called
it's just
in on
some
a
kind of
job interview.
fenced-in area where we'll keep them.
Yeah.
Take
Let
showers.
them shower. Jesus Christ! Next week's show is going to be about Schindler's List.
Jeez.
See if it
but-
still holds up.
I was so
He's like, if I'm going in, I'm going all in.
mostly after we watched Oppenheimer, I was curious about like why, with the war almost being over, why we still dropped the bombs and all this other stuff. And it's that
There was a
part-
movie about that with Josh Hartnett in it.
No, that's a terrible movie. Pearl Harbor. No, no, because I guess
He's in that one too.
I didn't realize
Right.
this, and
It's the fucking World War II Josh Hartnett cinema universe.
Yeah, that's like, he's like Kevin Bacon of the World War II cinema.
that's true. Did he die in that movie? I've
He
never,
did.
Yes.
I've never seen
Is
Pearl
Ben
Harbor.
Affleck? Ben Affleck died.
What? I've
Wait,
never
hold
seen,
on.
never saw it because that summer,
Dude, it's
Something-
it's the worst love story in an actually decent movie. Like
everybody
like the war
told me
stuff
it
is actually really
sucked,
good.
And I remember that summer something else huge came out, and kind of Pearl Harbor got pushed to the side. And everybody was like, "It's a terrible film."
How do you
So
call
I was just
yourself a cinephile and not see Pearl Harbor?
I know.
It's
but
easy.
It's one of those people.
Pearl Harbor side.
Yeah, just a little bit more than I miss
miss
you. I know I need to see it, but I have no desire to watch it
It's
because people say it doesn't hold up.
okay. I think it's fine because it's a representation of
it's
that.
Michael Bay.
It's a
That's
representation
why.
of the war. It's just that the whole love story, love triangle thing.
Yeah,
is
no, Michael
super
Bay
weird.
likes to insert stories that don't belong in there. Like if he did the Saving Private Ryan route with that movie, that could have been way better, but it wasn't. It sucked.
Yeah.
But I'll
Like,
watch it.
The war scenes, all that stuff, like are fantastic.
There's some spots that were good.
Yeah.
It came out in 2001. It gets 24% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's 3 hours and 4
Pearl
minutes
Harbor
long.
came out in 2001.
Shit.
I assume,
Dude, it's like the movie with. I
God,
was talking
I feel
to him
like
about
there's
the
something else
movie
we
that-
should remember about that year, but I always just assumed Pearl Harbor was what we were supposed to remember.
September 11th. I can't remember.
I was talking to him today about
Two
that,
tragedies in one year.
about
Wow.
my time blindness.
Right.
time blindness. Oh, because we watched the movie we watched.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can understand the need to feel connected to stuff like that. Like you're talking about that. When I actually went to Germany to visit Emery on the base that she was housed, when I got to go on base, I had to get clearance.
Hitler's bones.
Hitler's bones were on display in a big glass case.
were like-
No, they had pieces of the Berlin Wall,
Oh,
like
cool.
full on, full standing chunks of it, and it's
Man, Germany's
it's a
been through
little-
lot.
yeah, fucking Germany, man. Sorry, man. Sorry, Germany.
Sorry, Germany.
Sorry about that.
People should just walk into stores and be like, "I need this," and they're like, "Why do you get it for free?" And he's like, "I'm German."
German.
I'm like, got it.
We
Go
went
ahead.
through a thing.
Go ahead.
But yeah, it's a lot different when you finally like get to feel a piece of history or see a piece of history. You're right. I would want to go to Hiroshima. Like
Yeah.
I said, my daughter's been there. She has pictures. They have a whole museum, and like it's a lot different. You feel a lot different. So like seeing Oppenheimer made me want to know more about our involvement and
Exactly,
shit.
exactly.
Because like when you go through school, they kind of paint it as these were the bad guys and we fucking kicked their ass.
Exactly,
And now it's like,
exactly.
no, we're fucking assholes.
We kind of are, but at
and
the same
we did
time,
something that is unforgivable.
Actually-
just completely unforgivable.
So what? I agree with you to a certain extent. This is now the World War II podcast. Go,
No, I'm just
go
saying
fucking listen to
because-
something else. But no, I agree with you to a certain extent. But I didn't realize I watched like 180 videos on this week, and I'm not exaggerating. Like it was every video I could find.
I'm sure it was.
And there's there's people like fucking on both sides.
Dad,
but the consensus was
Up.
that Japan was like
they were
everybody
dug in. They were never quitting.
Yeah, Japan was like, we're gonna win this war. We're gonna fucking take it to these Americans, and we're gonna take over, and they're gonna be. So we were like, please surrender because the war is over, or we're gonna drop these bombs. And a lot of people were like, well, why didn't we drop the bombs on fucking like military installations? And Truman, who is a shitbag, was like, well, we have to cause catastrophic casualties in order to
It's proof point.
Well-
fucking. No, it's really not. 'Cause
Well,
you
do you
dropped
think
the
about it?
biggest bomb ever.
Think about it though.
Well,
we're coming
it's
off of
whipping
Japan.
your wang out is
Well-
what it was.
Well, Japan came to our shores because this was a war in Europe, and
Right.
Japan came to our shores and shot up military installations, bombed people, killed tons of people. I think Truman had a fucking grudge. Like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, this was for Germany.
It's payback.
But we're going to fucking make a point that if you fuck with us, we're gonna fuck with you. It's the line in Untouchables where it's like, if they give you the knife, you give them the gun.
Yeah.
They put you in the hospital, you put them in the morgue.
Yes.
It's that same mentality. Like
That's
we're
exactly
gonna
what we
flex fucking muscle, and we did in the worst possible
We
way.
were set to drop 2 more because they were like, okay, we'll fucking surrender, but we want to keep this guy as like the emperor. He won't do anything. We just like him. And they were like, and Truman was like, no, motherfucker, we're going to come occupy and we're going to be in charge. And they're like, no, we're not going to do that. And he's like, cool, send another one. And they're like, okay, we're sorry. We will stop now.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Lo siento.
Oh, so sorry. But hey, without Hiroshima and Nagasaki, no anime. So you're welcome.
You're welcome. Where would the Godzilla movies be now? Nowhere.
Exactly.
We did cinema a favor.
And dude, I guess we like tested a ton of nuclear stuff off
the
of
Bikini
like
Atoll and
all the off site in this like country, and like kids started growing up with like fucking black fingernails, and fucking tumors and cancers.
Well, it just goes. I look at stuff like that, man. It's like it goes right into like.
There really is like a giant silo like in the middle of the Pacific that's like almost impossible to get to.
Well, it's like the Chernobyl thing, man.
Full of
When that
nuclear
series
waste.
came out, I was like,
I
gotta watch it too.
So the
3
cartoon
Mile Island, all this shit. Like, I just want to know more about history.
Dude, the cartoon
School
guy
sucks.
The cartoon guy who like was showing me about the Oppenheimer stuff. I had watched every video there was. I couldn't watch any more videos because there was nothing else.
Dino DNA, the cartoon guy.
So
just teaching you about shit.
I was
I've
watching
seen this movie before.
I was watching Chernobyl stuff, and I didn't realize how fucked up that was.
That was terrible too.
They were like that. Like the reactor.
They were like, it's gonna be fine.
The reactor
It's gonna be
exploded, and they were just like, keep working. That's just a reactor 4. It's not even all the reactors. And all the people in the
you
town
guys will
were,
be okay.
Yeah, all the
People were
people in
just
the
melting.
town were like, should we leave? And they were like, we'll see.
Yeah,
So it's like
our
Jesus.
pets' heads are falling
like,
off.
Like Jordan said, like I learned all this stuff in school, but I didn't really dig into
You
it. And then when
don't
you
learn
dig
about
into
it,
it, you're like,
though.
this is fucking crazy.
Like it's like every time you go through high school, junior high, they give you the cliff notes about everything.
for real.
You're like, hey, remember Thanksgiving? What a great holiday we all celebrate. Oh, we murdered everybody.
He's got the 20 VHS thing coming for World
from
War
Time
II.
Life?
Yes,
Can't
from
wait.
Time Life.
The commemorative
No,
plates.
it's funny because when I was in high school, I spent a year in Utah, and they taught religion as history.
Sure.
And I know more about that
Yeah.
than I do about these actual things that happened in
I was about to say
history.
you learned about Robert Smith crossing over from Missouri, but that's the lead singer of The Cure. So
No, it was
Dum.
it really was. Like they
I
really,
get it.
So I didn't know this, but in Utah, so they pay you an extra $1 work on Sundays because they are
An extra $1.
They're dead.
yeah,
Just $1. They're like, here's the $1.
well,
It's just $1.
it's because Mormons
come in?
aren't supposed to work on Sundays
No,
or
I
whatever. But then when I went
supposed to do anything. Like, you
his-
go to church and you go home. That's it. You can't go shopping. You can't fucking do
yeah,
anything.
when
I sit and drink caffeine all day on Sundays.
well, it's okay because they
I
bought
jerk
Pepsi.
off at Target.
Who doesn't? I do that on a regular basis.
I commit sins while doing commerce.
But yeah, my entire history class for my junior year was all religious based, and it was all the Mormon religion. So I'm sitting there like fascinated because as an outsider, and I had like
It
one
is
other,
fascinating.
one other guy in my
Dum, dum,
class
dum,
who's
dum,
like
dum.
looking at me like this, and they're like, "Yeah, you know the mark? That's black people." And I'm like, "What? Could you please say that again, teacher?"
Hello?
You know, Cain killed Abel and he got the mark. That's black people. And I'm like, this is racist. And
Question mark?
yeah, and they're like, and they say
This
that
is
the way that we got new
racist?
nationalities is because Noah, it's like all his wives and stuff went to other parts of the country, other parts of the.
Are you sure you're
the
not
world.
talking about the new live action Little Mermaid?
I'm-
Because this sounds like you're telling
I'm
me
dead
about
serious,
Triton and his
bro.
and his.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
That's what they said
And
is
Barbie.
Noah
Oh,
had
no, it's
had
fucking
kids who had wives, and they all separated to different parts of the world, and that's how we got like Caribbeans and Hawaiians, and
Caribbean
stuff.
Barbie, Hawaii
Yeah,
Barbie.
so
Got it.
it was just like it was crazy. I was 17 and I'm sitting there like, this is fucking crazy. This guy really thinks this happened. Oh my god, this is a test. I have to take a test on this. I couldn't believe it. I told my parents, I was like, please get me out of this school, and they were like, no, we hate you. We're moving back to Arizona. in 2
They're like,
months."
thanks. Have a spadoinkle day.
It was weird. So anyway,
Cheese and rice.
this is now the World War II, how we grew up in Utah podcast because we didn't have any movies to talk about this
Well, I
week.
think. Well, I mean, it ties in because we saw Oppenheimer,
did.
and a week later. I mean, now that you're all in on the history of Oppenheimer, what did you think about the movie
Dude,
itself?
It's so fucking
Like,
good. It's probably
it's
my
it's so
favorite
fucking
movie,
good.
like of Nolan's right now. I love Tenet.
Tenet was good.
I
I
never been
didn't
an
like Interstellar.
I've never been an Interstellar guy. I know crazy cinephiles around the world are fucking
Yeah,
are
Not
minds
listening.
are blowing. No, dude, did you see our
kidding.
downloads?
I know.
For all you new people that are here that have made it this far into our rambling today,
Sorry.
thank you and sorry.
But
But
that whole racist bit from the start to now.
Thanks for checking in.
I don't know. I mean, Nolan has some great films. I love The Dark Knight and stuff, but I mean, as a standalone biopic, this is clearly like my favorite. I fucking like.
Well,
I've been
and
quoting it all week
think,
and shit.
especially after watching things like 1941 and
Yes.
then knowing stuff about Nolan's
Just
filmography.
makes you appreciate this
No,
one even
I'm
more.
just saying it makes you realize the directors that you hold in such high regard are not infallible.
Right.
Like Nolan doesn't have hits every time. I like The Dark Knight. I hate The Dark Knight Rises. I think it's a terrible movie.
Whoa.
It's terrible.
We'll have to revisit that
Interstellar, not so good. Tenet, I enjoyed. Apparently, no one else did.
I
Like we
loved
love that
Tenet.
movie, and nobody else likes that for some reason. They're
know.
too stupid to understand what the whole point
It's
was.
crazy because
I
know,
love it.
I feel like Amir goes with the crowd, and if I don't know if Amir listens or whatever, but Amir can do whatever he wants. I consider him in the highest regards of cinephiledom, but I feel like he kind of follows the Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that. But he can justify it, and he can also articulate it. But I went and saw 2 movies with him, The Last Jedi and Interstellar, and he told me that he did not like Interstellar. And he told me he loved The Last Jedi. And I was like, ha, gotcha, bitch. You can never post online that you
Right.
didn't like this because
You will lose credibility.
You told me straight up you liked it. And same with Interstellar. When people talk about how the greatest science fiction film of all time,
I'm sure
like,
it's scientifically sound. I'm sure it is.
It's not.
I
a good
hate that movie.
Me too. It's so
and
stupid.
honestly, I'm the same way because I also don't like Contact. And everyone says, "Oh, that's a Carl Sagan. It's a wonderful movie." Jodie Foster. I was like, that movie fucking sucked.
I liked
Look at that.
I hate Contact. It's
Fucking
dumb.
Contact.
Guess what? I went all this way. It just looks like my dad. Fuck this movie. I hated Contact. I didn't like
Well,
this one.
she wanted to have
I
a
don't care.
person
Be
that
more of a
he
lesbian.
was comfortable with. More
Yeah.
yeah, Jodie Foster, be more of a lesbian, you fucking bitch. Go do more of the
Anyway.
The Accused too.
Yeah. More accused. Yeah, I love Oppenheimer. I'm gonna buy that vinyl. I loved everything about it. I re-listened to our show from last week when we were talking about it because I wanted to see how I felt last week versus this week. 2 things.
Oh, we got to call out Scott, right?
We will.
Okay.
It's on my list. First thing.
What am I being called?
First thing.
Don't worry.
What
about
did you like about Oppenheimer? Because the only thing you mentioned last week was how it sounded.
Yeah.
Did you like the movie itself, other than
said
the
that,
noise?
didn't
okay.
I?
No, you really just focused on how it sounded and
it better when
No,
all the
I
sound
think
stuff.
that was my main driver.
That's just it's the vinyl, dude.
Oh.
Relax.
Well, I can't see your phone because you got the super secret.
true,
fucking-
yeah.
Right. That's so I can look at porn
Thing on.
at work
Yes.
and no one can see it. I'm not kidding. Maybe I'm kidding.
I'm not
Who knows?
kidding.
Okay, my boss listens to this. I just want to. Sometimes I get a reaction from.
Look! It's all snacks.
No, I don't. I
Oh
don't.
shit!
No, I think the,
do my job.
yeah,
Got
I think the main point was because it's a 3-hour movie
Okay.
that this is going to appeal to even a broader audience because
Yeah.
I think the soundtrack and the score moves it along,
Okay.
and it doesn't. There is no there's no stale moments.
Okay. Now I'm not.
The story's fantastic.
I wasn't judging your opinion on Oppenheimer. I think what I took away from was what you were saying is that mainly it was the sound, and I'm like, did you like the movie though? Like the
Yeah,
content
yeah.
of the movie.
I've already
And-
seen people online are like, it's okay, it's mid.
No,
It's just
the
mid.
thing
And
is,
I-
it's like it's based on an actual event. So I mean,
Right,
it's
right.
like it's finding out what happened basically behind the scenes, and this movie does that enough to where it drives it right through to the end,
I want to know more about fucking Einstein.
and that's what
You know what I mean? Like, I'm
and
sitting
that's
there
what a
going,
good movie leaves you doing. A good movie leaves you wanting to learn more.
Correct.
Again,
about
all
it.
I've done.
I bought the goddamn book. This thing can hold up a table. It's so thick, and it's the paperback.
Again, it's not a movie that I'm going to sit down and watch multiple times.
I can't wait to watch it.
But
again.
it is one of those things,
Okay.
and I will. This doesn't happen very often. I will say that this is a movie that you do want to experience in a theater setting.
You don't know what that is, but that's my Xbox screen name.
That's good because it used to be Kyle Rittenhouse. So I feel like we're stepping up a little bit.
We're moving on.
We're moving
into
on
the,
up.
into the
that
big
was
times.
just to piss people off.
Okay,
I don't-
so like Oppenheimer, we're good.
yeah, we're good.
Fucking great movie.
It's the
Go see
best.
it. It's the best.
Yeah.
All right, Ben Shapiro.
Yes.
What the fuck is your problem with Barbie?
We
watched-
literally quoted
no.
everything Ben Shapiro
Dude,
quoted.
Ben
To
Shapiro
the
did a video
verbatim, dude. Verbatim.
of what he thought about this movie, and it was
I've
like,
not seen it.
close your eyes. It was Scott
No.
railing against Barbie on this
Do
very
not
podcast.
fucking lie, and I will tell you why. You're lying.
No, because I haven't driven for work in weeks now, And I
But
used
it's
to
a
listen
YouTube
to like
video.
podcasts back and forth.
You like how he says weeks? He just barely stopped work.
That's a whole other story.
So Ben Shapiro, exact same talking points as you, but here's where I found it interesting
Well,
because I
maybe
was watching,
that it's blaringly obvious.
Hold
then.
on. At the beginning, he says the thing I will say positive about it is the set design, which is exactly what you said.
I
You
said it's packaged in a pretty box.
I'm not kidding
Which is
you.
kind
He
of what he
says
says.
the exact
Okay.
same thing.
I know. It was just-
I'm
it was
if you're
just so
calling me
funny.
out for plagiarism,
Yes.
it's not happening because
I don't
that's
know,
it.
man.
All I said was it's a movie that is packaged in a
It
pretty
is a
pink
movie.
box. It wasn't horrible, but it does have a driving agenda in it. I said I
Okay.
got a little
he
just
does
a little
say it's
like
horrible and like
I just said after a while hearing the patriarchy 9,000 times, I was just like, okay,
I
I
think-
get it, dude. It's the patriarchy.
So I've seen a lot of people posting about this, and you say it and stuff like that, and they're like, "Woke, well, it's just a word, blah blah blah." I want to,
but I didn't call it woke.
No, I
No,
know
I
you
know,
didn't.
I know you didn't.
The
But-
internet.
But I said
seems-
there is some kind of a little hint of story and like agenda in the back end of that.
I mean, I disagree.
as
There's
there
a
is with any
message,
movie.
but I don't think
As there is
that
with any movie.
that message is.
I just think that
woke is my opinion.
with what they had in the audience that they were going to garner from this movie, that they probably had a better opportunity to drive a better message home,
That's
especially to young girls.
But see, here's the thing. I
Young-
think the message was actually
young
really...
girls. I agree. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but
no, you're fine.
young girls. Yes, you can be anything you want. You don't need a man to.
But it was a contradictory message because at the beginning it was like Barbie can be anything she wants, but Barbie's stupid, and we don't want to deal with Barbie because she's dumb.
I think
That's kind of
I think what it
message.
was
And
is
then
they were also kind of trying to put the point home is that she only fit in this category. This Barbie fit in this category. It was trying to be shoehorned into what you're made for, and that's it. I think what it is the overall message is you don't need other people to define who you are, is one.
Correct.
And the other message is to accept who you are, flaws and all.
right.
And which is kind of, and that is
Your
that
life
is the
is never
message.
gonna be
See, I didn't
Right.
I didn't take that like verbatim, like just straight up. That's not the message that I got. Like if you look back at it, you can say
The name of this episode is verbatim.
no. You could look
I'll
back
set
and
it.
you can say, "Oh, this is what the message was." But when you're watching the movie in real time, it's like you have to kind of do a dig and a revisit to it to say, okay, what was she actually doing, or what did they actually mean? It wasn't real blaring as far as
Well,
like,
and that
like the
could be just
message.
maybe how you viewed it, but I'm not saying I'm smarter than you or vice versa.
That's
I'm just
not what he
saying
tells
that
me all the time.
don't let Scott know.
I'm not saying I'm
He's
smarter than you.
dumb.
However,
with all due respect, just kidding.
I said with all due
I
respect.
said with all due respect.
Just because you say with all due respect doesn't mean you can say anything you want.
I didn't have to do any deep dives after this to know that that's what the message was. Like
Yeah,
for me,
so-
I didn't
I felt
focus
it
on.
was just mixed. I felt it was
That's
to me
fine.
it was a
And
little
just-
it was a little muddy mix as far as like what they were trying to get past versus what they actually were doing. It wasn't 100% to me that this is a story about like women empowerment. There was a lot of different little side stories. It was kind of like I said, it was kind of that whole like, hey, men are stupid and you don't need men, and that's fine.
I disagree.
But
I think it was.
people need relationships with people, and to have those relationships and things.
I think it was more of
that's a positive
if
thing.
women have all the power, they're jerks, and if men all have all the power,
Well,
they're
yeah,
jerks,
and
and then there's a good middle between.
Yeah, and that's
I
what showed
I
it,
never would
like-
have thought that.
Well,
But-
and that's what I saw too. Is like, look, when the women were in charge, things weren't perfect because
Correct.
the Kens
They
were
didn't even
fucking
know where
accessories.
Yeah, they didn't even know where they
You're like,
slept.
who the fuck cares? Ha, it's girls' night.
Yeah.
But see, I
know?
saw it as like, hey, all the women are in charge. Things are going fine.
Well, because that was the
And
status
then
quo.
the men screwed it up, and now we got to take it back. Which again,
No.
I don't care. I just thought that the message was a little cloudy.
Okay.
And like I said, it wasn't a terrible movie.
As soon as
I didn't
Scott's done
hate
ranting,
it.
I'm going to define what woke, what I consider what when people say this is woke. I'm going to define.
Somebody who says woke
Oh,
is somebody who would
fucking
say
morons.
like, this is the message, and it's 100% wrong, and your agenda is completely different than mine. I just said it's a little gray. I just said it was kind of. I mean, if you're talking like, if you're appealing to young girls and you're appealing to older women, and you're trying to bring that gap together, the only thing again that's going to bridge that is a pretty pink package. It's a pretty pink box that they can
I
all
can't
go
wait
enjoy
to
it.
get the pink steelbook.
And all I see online in reviews where people are talking about certain things in the movie, and they're like, "Oh, But my child didn't even understand that. It went right over their head.
There were
and I'm like,
jokes.
but why do you have to take your child to something that goes over their head? That means that it's probably a little bit of out of reach for what your child should be probably watching.
Not necessarily. There are kids shows that have adult jokes because you have to appeal to the
Bluey.
people that you're stuck watching the
Right.
stuff with.
No, I get that.
Just like kids love Blippi, but parents love him because he shits all over his friend. There's got to be something for everybody. I think there are things in Barbie that will go over kids' heads. My daughter went and saw it, and there are certain jokes that she just didn't get.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. I don't need to explain it. But there are messages that she took away from it that was meant to appeal to everybody. And that's where I'm coming from, where it's like, I don't see it as they were attacking men or women or anything like that. I think it was kind of the opposite, where it's saying all men in charge is bad, all women in charge is bad. You guys got to get over your fucking shit and be able to work together. But you also need to realize you can be you without needing him or her. And I understand, yes, connection is one thing, but connection for the sake of connection is bad. It's why people are always fucking divorcing, because they're not meant to be with that person. They just have to play a role, and then that role is fucking...
Stop attacking me.
Hurry up. I need more free time with you. But you know what I mean? So like, that's what I took away from it. We found it very funny because I saw the video and then you said it.
I was making spaghetti.
It was almost
right after
verbatim.
you left, and I put it on the TV because I like the, regardless. I don't care, you whatever, come at me. I like Ben Shapiro. I hate this choose a side, choose a box. There's people on both sides I like listen to. I think Ben Shapiro's entertaining.
And I've said this on the other show that I'm on. I'm tired of people knowing everybody else's politics. Fuck it. I don't fucking care.
Right. So
you be you, and if you're not a dick to me or people I care about, great.
Exactly. So I put it on the TV, and he starts talking, and I'm like, his movie reviews I have barely ever agreed with because he doesn't like.
No,
things that
I've
I
seen
love.
some of his movie reviews, and it takes a lot because I actually will see those videos pop up, and
I feel
I'll
like
watch
he
his
goes
movie
in
reviews on Marvel
wanting
movies.
to pick out things to be pissed off about.
But see, Shapiro's super conservative, and he doesn't hide any of that, and you know that going in, so you know the kind of review you're going to get from him.
But when I heard him talking, I was like, I gotta say this to Jordan. This is Scott. This is literally Scott.
It was your entire opinion.
It was your entire opinion.
But all I've seen is like, Ben Shapiro shreds Barbie, hates it, this and that. And I haven't watched, again, I have not watched any of the freaking, I have not watched the video of him talking about Barbie because, quite frankly, I don't want to hear him review Barbie. That's the last thing I need to hear. So it's just, again, like I said, there's going to be groups of people that see things one way, and there's going to be other groups of people that see things another way. Movies are pretty streamlined. I mean, it's hard to take a movie like Barbie and just say, everybody goes, oh yeah, I agree, this is what it is. There's going to be varying opinions on things, and they're going to be similar in respect.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Well, not everybody's going to like it. And I'm not saying your
opinion's
opinion's bad. I just thought it was funny.
I didn't hate it. I would, dude, if somebody asked me, they're like, should I go see the Barbie movie? I'd be like, go see it. I don't care. I can't tell you that you're going to hate it or you're going to love it. I didn't hate it.
Well,
I didn't love it. I didn't think that it's like.
Did you see Barbie? And I was like, yeah, and I loved it. And they were like, really, the man card?
Yeah, it really
okay.
is divisive. Where it's like, if you say you're a guy and you went and saw Barbie on the first weekend, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're gay. I'm like,
okay.
Well, think about it.
Fine.
If you were a kid and you told your friends you were playing with Barbies, what would they tell you?
Okay,
right.
But this is a movie.
I'm a 44-year-old man.
It's a movie based on the same the doll, though. That's what I'm saying.
I see everything though.
I know you do. You're the exception to the rule.
But not
everybody sees everything.
I said the same thing about Oppenheimer. I asked 14 people this weekend if they had any interest in it, and they were like, no. And I'm like, it's one of the best movies ever made. Please see it. Like, don't you want to know things? But I think
also
people just
like
don't care.
And people like me, when you see a movie like that come out, and they're like, oh, it's this epic thing. And the one thing I can say with the marketing behind Barbie is you knew a lot about kind of what the movie was going to be. You saw a lot of the scenes. Oppenheimer, all you knew about Oppenheimer was a dude in a hat. That was the marketing behind it. A guy in a hat.
Dude.
They weren't like explaining to people, because I can tell you right now, there's probably hundreds of thousands of people out there have no idea who Oppenheimer was. I already knew who he was, and I knew what the story was.
Yeah. You want to know something really funny? Until we saw this movie, I thought Oppenheimer was like German or something.
Me fucking too.
Didn't know he was from fucking New Jersey.
Knew the name and everything. But check this out.
No clue.
So I'll put on Jurassic Park sometimes for Parker and stuff, and Oppenheimer shows up in that, and I'm just like, it's all connected. Like, he's in everything. I got to fucking figure this out.
Because now you know what he looks like, so you're looking for him.
I wasn't looking for him. I just noticed it. I was like, what? That's foreshadowing in the movie.
He's Charlie Day in fucking
Yes.
Always Sunny. There's gonna be a whiteboard with
Yeah.
like string going everywhere.
He's like-
to all. It's
he's
like,
like
in here,
Dexter.
and then they're going to each one of his movies. It's like he's in this one, and he's in this one, and it's just gonna be everywhere. This is gonna be this Oppenheimer.
We're gonna come
room.
over one day. It's gonna be like Dexter. He's gonna have like just red yarn strung across the
Yeah.
living room.
Look, I can't let Parker in the backyard. Hear me out. He's built a tower. He's gonna build his own tiny little fucking fat man and little boy.
I've learned how to split an
The
atom.
only thing we can do is re-bomb Hiroshima.
By the way, there's a Paul Newman movie that I
Uh-oh.
heard about years ago that may have to come onto the show as something we need to see. It was called Fat Man and Little Boy, and it was literally about the bombs.
It wasn't about eating burgers?
No, Fat Man was the bomb dropped on Nagasaki, and Little Boy was the one on.
That's what the show's gonna be called
Yeah,
after I get kicked off.
Tonight is Fat Man.
And-
Aw.
and-
Which one's who?
Did you know that the name of the second plane was Boxcar, which was Travis Barker's first band he was in, which Boxcar Racer stole the name when they became Boxcar Racer, and the Boxcar part was from the plane, not from an actual Boxcar Racer. So fuck you. I knew that. I looked it up.
Doesn't
I
know
knew
song
that
lyrics,
from all the research
I
I've
knew
done
song
this
lyrics.
week.
my 155 hours of research this week.
No. Moral of the
55
story.
shakes.
Moral of the
55
story: if
Oppenheimers,
you want to go
55
see
Barbies.
Barbie, go see Barbie.
Yeah, go.
I don't care. I don't care what you
Yeah,
do.
Scott doesn't care if you see
Dude.
Barbie.
Yeah, I don't give a shit what you do.
Well, they got money, man.
Yeah.
They
Which
made,
again, I still think
it was the biggest.
Oppenheimer. It should have
opening.
been flipped. I think Oppenheimer is the
Yeah,
far
but
superior
once again,
movie.
It's
Again,
a 3-hour
it's
film.
The marketing,
It's-
I know.
Well, it's not even marketing. It's
What's more
it's
accessible.
butts and seats, and even
Correct.
though they're selling out,
You
it's
can
a 3-hour movie.
You can take
only
little
show
girls. Yeah.
you can only show maybe 6
Yeah,
showings
you're not
of that
taking
movie
your
in one day.
you're not taking your daughter to go see Oppenheimer.
Right.
I'm gonna now.
You're like, look at Florence Pugh's
it.
titties. Be like,
know,
Look
like-
at her
her.
sit
You
there,
know, like-
uncomfortably in this chair.
Overseas, I forget which country.
Kill yourself at 29.
Digitally
Black
put a black
shirt.
dress on her. I'm like, that's weird.
That sucks
It's
for
like
them.
fucking photoshopping Oppenheimer. Come on. Anyway.
Anyways, so all right, we watched the movie this week. Also, just wanted to give a shout out to Sikowitz. He listened to 8 hours of our podcast this weekend while cleaning his yard, and I gotta appreciate that because I'm not sure if those all were his numbers.
Mad props.
Because we got a huge influx of downloads this month.
I
This week.
can't.
And
that would not be one person's.
I know.
I've
but-
been creating so many accounts on Spotify.
So I appreciate it.
Before they raise their prices, I've got 5 accounts.
Hopefully, we could keep that momentum going. Maybe one day get monetized. I don't even want a lot of money. I just want to pay for this thing monthly, like the hosting, and then I'll be fine.
Coming up on 2 years, you know that?
I love it.
Fucking next
We
month.
should do an anniversary thing. We never watched Super Cockfighter or whatever.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
someone broke his fucking arm. What an
it was
idiot.
you, and then you fell on your back.
Asshole.
God, you're falling apart.
I've fallen.
An
I
old
can't
man.
get up.
When this comes out, I'll be much older.
All right, because your birthday's on Saturday. What are you doing for your birthday?
Nothing.
Cool. All right, so
Like
this
the Lord wanted.
this week this month we started doing movies we'd already seen.
Revisiting.
Yeah, revisiting. And originally I went with fucking dumb, stupid Thelma and Louise.
I'm
'cause-
so glad we didn't watch
So-
Yeah, so if you didn't listen to the snack show last
I'm
week,
so
the
sorry.
movie has changed.
Yes, that's
so
right.
if you tuned in thinking you're going to get a review of Thelma and Louise, guess what?
You're probably already gone with
You're-
all of our fucking Oppenheimer.
You're wrong.
Kill yourself talk.
You're not listening this
But
far.
I went ahead and went with 1999. Now, if you're gonna say, hey, why did you pick this movie? And I said because this movie is one of those movies.
It's tied to Oppenheimer.
It was one of the first like DVDs I bought. It was one of like I remember watching this as a kid over and over and over again. I remember
As a
having.
kid, this movie came out in 1999. At this
I was
point, you were kind of a
17.
man.
I was like 17.
He's still a kid.
Not yet a man.
I'm not a girl.
Yeah, exactly. So, 1999, starring Edward Furlong, Sam Huntington. I can't pronounce that word. Giuseppe Andrews. Directed by Adam Rifkin. Detroit Rock City.
In 1978, when disco was on top, these guys partied to a different beat.
Hours from now, we're actually gonna be seeing Kiss, baby!
Don't you know what KISS stands for? Knights in Satan's Service.
We just watched Jam's mom torch our Kiss tickets.
Nobody's missing that concert tomorrow night.
We're not stealing my mom's car.
Damn right we are. The night is young, filled with possibilities.
Beth? Yes?
Hey, you little twerps. Give me your Kiss tickets or I'll pop your faces in.
Kiss sucks! You're the coolest.
Detroit Rock City.
It's a girl walking along the side of the highway. We should pull over and help her out. I mean, they make scary movies that start out like that.
Hey, but they make porno movies that start out like that too, man.
Yeah, dude. I haven't seen this movie in forever and a day.
Same here.
It's been a while.
I fucking loved it again.
This was this was my time thing because I was talking to Aaron earlier, and I'm like, I did not realize that this was the end of the 90s. Even though, like, I know we said 1999, I thought this movie came out a lot earlier than 99 because then I started looking it up with who was in this movie, and I was like, shit, Biggs is in this movie. What's her face? The
Natasha Lyonne.
Natasha Lyonne's in this movie, and I'm like,
Did you say Jason Biggs is in this movie?
he's credited as in being in the movie.
Where?
I don't know.
Now I have to look for him.
I know.
I just finished watching this today, and I did not see him once.
Yeah, because I looked, but he's in the movie as being credited as an actor. But I looked at it and I was like, dude, this came out like literally months apart from American Pie, and I'm like, there's no way that this was like.
I'm looking it up. There's no way he's in it.
He's in it. If you look at cast.
Oh, that's fine. I get that. I didn't see him at all.
No, you don't see him. You know who I did notice though?
Huh?
The guy that was pawning the ticket. You know who that guy is?
I tried to figure it out. Who is it?
He's the boyfriend from Bring It On. The blonde-haired guy that goes to college and gets the girlfriend, and he was dating Kristen Dunst's character.
Gotcha. Oh my God, that's
a deep fucking pool for
I was
Scott.
like, because I looked at him and I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, I know the face. And I'm like, I have no... So
even with his like porn star 70s mustache?
Yeah, because I'm like looking, I'm like, God, the guy's got some kind of a feature, man. And I'm like, who is this guy?
I feel like either you lived or died on by your career. Like Giuseppe Andrews went on to do nothing.
He was in Independence Day and then this.
Yeah, and Cabin Fever.
Oh, then so did James DeBello, the guy who played the stoner, because guess what? Everything I've ever seen that guy in, he's a stoner.
Right.
The most typecast group of gentlemen in this movie, because Sam Huntington was in Not Another Teen Movie.
Yes.
He's the quintessential high school kid. Like every one of these characters, you could have put them in any other 90s movie and they were the same character.
Did this make you feel old? Because you see, what's her face? Melanie Linsky? Yeah, whatever her name is. Show up, and I'm like, oh, she's a kid in this, and now she's like doing grandma stuff on Yellow Jackets.
Right?
I'm like, fuck.
It's fucking weird.
I didn't even know. I mean, because you got Edward Furlong, who's now like, he's
rough.
Thank you.
He is fucked up, dude.
And you see him like, I mean, he's obviously a kid in this, but I think
he's going to be on our next podcast.
Yeah.
3 fat guys talk about shit.
Yeah, once I get kicked off.
Yep.
This movie, I think, still holds
beard,
up because of the subject matter. I mean, it's kind of like watching that '70s show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like it's set in that time. This has got Kiss stamped all over it. This is Gene Simmons' like fucking marketing.
Well, his wife was in it. Fucking Edward Furlong.
I know, and
That's
I'm like,
his wife?
so
Shannon
weird.
Tweed.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she
Look
was
at
in a
this.
lot of like.
I'm learning things about this movie.
Yes,
20 years
That's
later.
his wife, and they have
That's his
like
wife.
what 2 kids.
I love
together?
it when he pukes in
Yeah,
that
his
fucking
daughter's hot.
thing, and it just puts it back on the.
He slowly sticks it on there. I laughed so hard.
He's
Like,
got to go shake his wee wee
ugh,
for $100 to get that ticket.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
bad.
You're gonna go over there and you're gonna shake your wee wee.
And I think what
Like-
this
like a
does
man.
is it speaks to the fact that I think this is the type of movie we all fucking love.
Yes.
The
Hangout.
movies.
Yes.
It's why I love Dazed and Confused.
Yep.
It's why I love this.
Oh,
Everybody
it's- yeah,
wants
it's
some.
right in
It's just hanging out, and it doesn't have to be set in the 70s. It could be in the 80s or 90s.
Right.
But it's just that type of movie. I will watch Can't Hardly Wait 9,000 times
too.
and not once be upset that I'm watching the movie. You know what I mean? Like it's just those types of movies, house party movies.
Yeah.
This kind of road trip movies, like fucking Road Trip.
Did you notice though they leave and they get there at night and everyone's going into the concert, but they still have like 2 hours or something.
They
Everything's still
do
open.
a night's worth of work
Well,
and they got 30 minutes to the show.
Yeah.
if you think about it, though,
And
like
they still
if
make it.
this was the Midwest, this was like Ohio, Detroit, Michigan. Time is different there. I have noticed this because when I was in Portland last year in the summer, it didn't get dark until like almost 9:30 at night.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. So this could have been like a fall concert in the Midwest.
That's what I
It's
was
dark
thinking,
at
too.
6. You know what I mean? So like, I could see that.
I think it was.
was
I think it's the
plausible.
whole like it's got to be dark if you drive into the city.
Or they
You know
didn't
what I
care
mean?
about the opener.
You can't just drive it.
Yeah.
Well, it's Blue Oyster Cult. So if you go,
Only he likes the openers, and we have to go to 4:30 showing for a guy who doesn't go until 9.
I mean, you spent enough on those tickets.
doesn't
You might as well
matter.
get your
I
money's worth.
Still,
Yeah, in
we
that
sat
case, I
there
would
for
be like-
5 hours. It was so. I was like, God, please kill me. Anyways, no, but this is probably one of the first hangout movies I ever seen. I think I even saw this before I saw the original American Pie, and I think that's why I have
I think this came out first.
better connection to it. No, I think
I can't remember.
I want to say American Pie came out in like 95 or 6.
99.
No.
It did?
Yeah.
Yep. 99. They're literally months apart.
I have to ask.
But I
my
can't remember
good
which
friend,
one came out first.
IMDb.
Yeah, no, the guy Funky Butt Lovin', the dude from
He'll never talk.
Thomas Nichols or whatever his name is. He will never talk to me again. Left me on red. Anyways, so yeah, I just I had a lot
Rock City released in August of 99.
Okay.
yes,
And then American Pie.
dude.
I never saw it in the theater either. It
What?
sucked. Detroit Rock City.
I didn't see it in theater.
I saw it because I was working at the video store.
Well,
I
it
was-
bombed. It only made like $5 million.
Oh, yeah.
Did it bomb?
Yeah.
But it got a resurgence on
Oh,
on
I'm sure.
video
That's a lot of it.
because that's where I saw it.
Yeah.
American Pie, July of 1996.
So they're a month apart.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a
Okay, so
good
that
summer.
makes sense. Yeah, that is a good fucking summer.
Fucking
And then like
teen comedy
Yeah,
summer.
so American Pie did come out. So, I
Fight
mean,
Club
essentially
comes
they
out
came
that
out
year.
at the same time.
and I can see why Detroit Rock City maybe didn't do as well because when American Pie came out, that was the talk of the
Oh, yeah.
summer.
tour de force. Yeah.
That was
Fuck's a
everything.
pie.
And then I think the difference is that, yeah, there's that, and there was nudity in one, not the other.
Oh, there was a lot of nudity in this one.
I remember the nudity.
When he goes
Take
to the
the party.
the party where he
Titties
bangs
everywhere.
Tweed.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I must have missed that part.
Or no. It was when the dude
What
sneaks. He sneaks in
Giuseppe-
backstage.
he sneaks in
and
backstage.
All
Oh,
the,
okay,
all
yeah,
the
yeah,
groupies
yeah.
are in the
That's
hot
right.
tubs.
Oh, they're in there.
That's right.
They're in there.
You see Gene Simmons with the big Jufro walking into the
Yeah.
friggin' bus when
Did
they
I coin the term Jufro?
I think so.
You did not.
but it was exaggerated.
You used
for
it
this
correctly,
movie. They're like,
but
look,
you did not coin
this
it.
is Gene Simmons' big bushy hairdo from the back.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is like the drummer is
Paul Stanley?
Paul.
Is it Paul
Ace Frehley?
Peter Chris.
Peter
Oh,
Chris.
I'm
That's
stupid.
right.
I don't know
Okay.
anything about Kiss.
No, I hate Kiss.
What?
I know. Actually, you know what? I can't say that I hate Kiss. I don't listen to Kiss. But when I watch this movie and they would play a Kiss song, I'm like, I do like that.
You're like,
song.
I do like
me
it.
too.
I
I'm
do
the
like
same
that
exact
song.
way.
They've got just
They're sporadic.
handloads of good music, and they coined their whole thing off their live show, man, which
Right.
is respectable.
Right.
But Gene Simmons, like, dude, he was like the boy band of the 70s, man. They marketed their freaking band.
Oh, for sure.
Well, I like that they were
To
still old in
the
1999,
nines.
but they were acting like that they were like in
Well,
the 70s.
that was
and
my
you could see-
the whole movie is fucking fantastical and how things happen and crazy and weird. The one thing I had any care that I thought that's never gonna happen is when he threw his drumsticks out in the audience and what's his face catches up and he's like, "Yeah, you did
didn't
it!"
foreshadow that
I'm
one
like,
with the
no,
broken
I-
drumstick.
I knew that was gonna happen, but that wasn't what was. Is the fact that Peter Chris was like, "Yeah, you did it," and I'm like, "You didn't fucking see
I
who
know.
caught that, you dumb asshole."
Yeah,
Like,
just light.
there's no
I think
chance
he
you
was-
noticed that
I
that
think
fucking
he was
idiot
just
caught
pointing
it.
into the crowd because I've caught a drumstick in the crowd and the guy will just point to the crowd like, yeah.
I know.
you did
It just seems so like,
Yeah.
you know, we did it. We're best friends.
But I find like just it's got so many pieces to like these 90s teen movies, man, because you got kind of like the mother who's like very footloose, where she's like the devil music, but she's chain smoking and
Dude,
drinking.
that was so funny to
Right?
me. I thought the messages and all this was hilarious.
I liked how they split them up.
Yes.
Like, I thought splitting them up was a big service to the storyline because
Yeah.
everyone had their own little side adventure.
I love
You know,
it.
this guy was trying not to get beat up, and he had his own little thing, and then this guy was rescuing the girl
Hey,
who got attacked by some
Chongo.
fucking...
reminded me very much of like Adventures in Babysitting.
Yes.
You know, like where it's at city at night. yeah,
right. We're small town
everybody's
kids
doing
in the
their own
city.
thing. Yeah, it's like, I mean, there's so many.
Like, this guy's trying to sneak in.
Or
This
like
guy's
After
trying to.
Hours.
Anyway, this did this better.
I can't believe you said that.
I will choose this movie over After Hours.
Wow, that's funny.
But as much as like I kind of was like, oh, okay, we're gonna watch this, it really did invigorate me in a way, like just like I said, 90s comedy, 90s act, like fucking.
It made me feel good again. I was
Yeah,
sitting
I was
there
having
watching
fun.
I was smiling.
I had a good time. I wanted to shit on you for a bit, and then I was just like, nah, I like this movie.
I laughed at the jokes that I already knew. Like I could see coming, and I still laughed. I was like, oh, that's funny.
As much as I'm going to shit on you for changing your movie,
Yes,
I'm glad you changed your movie.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that.
I just want to give you shit because you changed your movie.
What would you guys give it now? What would you guys give it then and then now? I don't know. We got to make this
based off of when it came out and what came out around that same time. I would say this movie was a 3 at the time because I was just inundated with so much.
Yeah.
But now I would raise this up to a 4. It's a fun fucking movie. It really is a fun movie to watch.
100% agree.
And the
with
soundtrack is fucking
Dude, the
phenomenal.
soundtrack is so good.
And it's not just Kiss songs. It's just like every song from the 70s.
Boys are back
I'm sitting
in
there.
town.
I'm sitting here going, "This is Dazed and Confused and Guardians of the Galaxy."
it really
like
is.
just the soundtrack is the mash of the two, and I'm just like, and then you throw in like 5 or 6 Kiss songs.
And
I think you
it's
can look back and
super
appreciate it a little bit more
Right.
than you did when you saw it back
sure.
then.
Yeah, I think
different
you're right.
mindset. I was like, let's see, how old was I? I was barely 19, 20. I was 19, I think, at the time, and it was
make
just
you
like,
sad?
it does.
It does me too.
Like you sit there and go,
I was like 36.
I'm like, this is timeless, and then I look at my
Were you
face. I was
really?
like, that's not timeless. I'm just kidding.
I'm the same way. Like it makes me sad, happy, if that makes any sense. Like you kind of remember where you were. I remember I had just moved to Utah. I'd made friends with friends in the neighborhood. We went to this dude's mom's basement and we watched this movie. And I was like, I fell in love with it. And I worked at Walmart, and the next day I bought it on DVD because all I had in my room was a TV I bought and a DVD player, and I played it. And I was like, over and over and over again. But then it's kind of one of those things where you move on. Like, okay, well, I'm, and then
there's other stuff.
You'll see it, sporadically or whatever. But
I'm not gonna lie, did it come out on like Criterion or like so they put a 4K out recently? Someone did. Maybe I'm just.
No,
it's
actually really
like
hard to find on Blu-ray.
I feel like I just saw something about it recently, and
Maybe
when you
they're
brought it
coming
up, that's why maybe I don't know, but
I think this movie
it was
could get
top of mind.
released today, and I think
Nope,
it would
he says
actually
fag
do.
in it like
Dude,
18
like
times.
there were
that's-
so
that's-
many. Yeah,
But I think it could get released today, and I think it would do better today than it did when it was released in '99.
might.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I think
I think
because
people
it's
are
an interesting subject.
people want, dude.
to feel nostalgic.
Yes, they're looking for that '90s kind of.
it's why I
comedy,
watched
man.
Take Me Home Tonight a couple weeks back. It was just one of those things.
Yeah.
I know we gotta giggle.
Yeah, we got a movie to catch.
Yeah, we're gonna go watch another movie. 'Cause that's
Talk
what
to
we do
me,
here.
and then we'll talk about it next week. So what did you give it?
I'm saying probably about 3.5. I think
Like
it's
back then, and then back
maybe like a 3, and it's like I said, it's more you can appreciate it a little bit more now.
Mhm.
It's just I think with that whole like '90s craze, I mean, there was so much good cinema
I agree.
in the '90s with the '90s teen movies.
Yeah. Well, big old see it. No, I'm kidding. No, I agree with everything Jordan said. Back in the day, I think I was like, it was probably a 5 for me, and now I'm probably like settled down as a 4. But it just makes me remember why I love movies so much, man. Like
It's just fun.
It's a fun movie, hangout movie. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. Edward Furlong, without doing his Terminator stuff, he's actually really good in this. And Sam Huntington is funny. His mom is funny. So, all right, Jordan, what do we got? What are we watching next week?
I'm gonna do something outside of my wheelhouse a bit. I'm picking a movie that I hate.
Uh-oh.
And that I did not like when I first watched it. I haven't watched it since.
I respect this.
And
I should've
I'm
done
giving
this.
I'm giving it a second chance on this show as a rewatch because I know it'll make you both happy. And I think maybe I now, after years, many years of after seeing it the first time, I might appreciate it now more than I did then. We're watching Roadhouse.
Can I buy you guys a drink? Guess not.
Patrick Swayze is
Dalton.
I thought you'd be bigger.
Opinions vary.
When he's around, anything can happen,
How does a guy like you end up a bouncer?
Just lucky, I guess.
and usually does.
If somebody gets in your face, I want you to be nice.
Don't be rude.
Ask him to walk, but be nice. Help this gentleman to the door. Until it's time to not be nice.
So says the fighting philosopher.
He may be hard to handle.
I keep talking, you're gonna go off thinking I'm a nice guy.
I know you're not a nice guy.
But he's easy to like.
What's the matter, Dalton? Don't you like women?
The worst I ever had was wonderful.
He's not what you'd expect.
I thought you'd be bigger.
But there's one thing you can count on. He's the best friend a good time ever had.
You guys tired?
Doc, I'll get all the sleep I need when I'm dead.
This is my town. I'm not afraid of him.
I guess you'll be having that fire sale now, all right? You got your hands full, kid.
I just think I'm looking at a dead man.
Patrick Swayze.
For that line of work, I thought you'd be bigger.
Gee, I've never heard that before.
Roadhouse.
I fucking love Roadhouse.
And I don't. So
This is a conversation I've heard you guys have before.
This is going to be something that's either going to be, I'm going to come here and say, you know what? I was wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. That was a fucking banger movie. Or I'm going to be like, I was right.
I was right.
And my feelings about this movie sucks, and it sucks now as it sucked then.
Not only am I going to watch Roadhouse, there is a commentary on the 4K.
He's going to watch everything associated with Roadhouse
all week.
this
It's going to be Roadhouse.
No,
he's like,
it's just going to deep dive.
No,
into
but
like
it would give me a
Swayze
reason
and-
because on the 4K, actually, it's on the Shout Factory Blu-ray. It's right there, right next to Wally. But there's a commentary with like the Kevin Smith Smodcast people where they just do a commentary over the
right.
they watch
And
it, I'm like,
this is a revered movie. A lot of guys are into this movie.
This is the
it's the
patriarchy.
man's man movie. They say
Did you say patriarchy?
35 times.
Ken would love this movie.
I guess when I watched it, I just didn't see the appeal. I didn't like it as much, and I like these kinds of movies, so I'm
men
giving.
are lame.
I'm giving.
You
it
watched it later on, though, right? So kind of after the hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
So and
I'm the
it's
same
why
way.
I don't like Red Dawn. I don't like Red Dawn. I don't. I know. You and I have already had this conversation.
We have?
Yes. And
Red Dawn is fantastic.
Sure isn't. Anyway, so I'm not picking that. I'm picking Roadhouse. We're gonna watch Roadhouse. And we're gonna see. And we're gonna see if our years of doing this show and me watching movies and getting a better palate for things changes that. And I might revisit Red Dawn and see if that also has changed.
Bro, Wolverines.
Thank you.
Avenge me.
Yes, do the one line everyone does when you say fucking Red Dawn.
Avenge me. Best scene in any movie ever. If you've never seen Red Dawn, go watch it. There's a scene where their entire town is under like rule of the Russians, and they're all fucking packed in like a concentration camp, like with barbed wire. But you know the kids are living on the outskirts. They're like.
We get it. It's Leah Thompson. Let's move on. We got to go see a movie.
Okay. All right.
Stop describing the plot of fucking
Anyways,
Red Dawn.
they're running away, and the dad just screaming at the fence, avenge me, like no fucking guard's going to hear that. Anyways, all right. So we will be back next week with Roadhouse. And we appreciate everybody that's listening. I've seen the iTunes stuff. You guys are doing it. You're leaving us reviews.
Really
You're not
doing it.
You're not fucking saying anything. So please say stuff so we can read it on the air. I appreciate everyone who's coming over from It's Eric Nagel. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the downloads. Thank you so much for the listens. Blown away. Please keep it up. Even if you don't listen, just fucking download it. It makes us look better. We appreciate it. And then we can keep doing fun stuff like this. Enjoy and keep getting mad at Jordan. As always, I'm Aaron.
I'm Jordan.
And Scott.
Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later.